2. You know it. No, I think that's some. I don't know. I don't know why it does that. Frostbite scales the same way as regen. Sort of, yeah. Well, yeah, like you said, being an offensive thing changes it. What does Falwalis mean? It means flawless. It means nobody got wounded on the mission. Well, only the enemies got wounded on the mission. Probably the enemies all got killed on the mission. Yesterday was a 7-tile shinobi attack. That may have happened. That may have happened. So do I have a thing to do? Oh, right. I have this. There's this data tap. And I just played a mission which freed up enough soldiers to actually go fight this. I could pull a shinobi to have 8 soldiers. Probably a good idea. I could pull Haven Advisors from, like, this Eastern Europe Haven Advisor isn't really doing anything. Well, sort of is doing something. Let's pull this Haven Advisor. Why is that noise happening? Is that just what the game sounds like? There's a wiki for Long War 2. We're to get properly into XCOM 2. Long War 2 is like not even the same game as XCOM 2, really. Oh, it went away. I think the sound went away. Autofill! Squad! I tried to explain to RoboJumper that the acceleration should be different. Like, it should decelerate much more slowly. I did my best. I guess I couldn't argue my case well enough. So this is an intel retaliation mission. The aliens are attacking our haven, specifically the rebels in our haven who are in charge of collecting intel. And it is our job to stop them. Looks like I might need one more nanoscale. Sort of want to cut corners there, because I'm going to have hazmat vests building pretty soon, but it's fine. Let's build one more exosuit for this mission. Throw it on somebody who's not very good at dealing damage, especially at long range. So that would be like... specialist with a laser stun gun, maybe? Maybe. Makes sense to me. This is a campaign where we rushed for exosuits pretty early. And those will hopefully keep us going, along with the laser weapons we built in the offices we're training for a little while. Yeah, very. Did not quite get to the HQ assault last night. We had like a UFO and 2 supply raids and some other mission that was really good. It was sort of crazy last night. We just had so many good missions back to back to back to back. And Casmet, thanks very much for the 8 months. Welcome to you too. I hope you're enjoying the Long War 2 you're getting to play. Long War 2 has all of the Golden Path missions. That's the name of the like missions that take you through the narrative and win you the campaign. Most of them are toward the second half of the campaign, and Long War 2 has a sequence of missions that it has built that sort of ramp you up to that. I'm gonna turn on my AC. I would have opened the window, but somebody's doing something out there. Many good missions. Yeah, when I said so many good missions, I meant like in terms of good rewards. Like difficult missions to detect, which give you good rewards if you can beat them. But in terms of the results, well, like I said, we had 4 soldier deaths yesterday. So, in an intel raid, we deploy without stealth. Except for like this soldier's a shinobi, so it has stealth independent from the rest of the squad. And there are enemies on the map who are very aware that we are here and are running around planning to kill us. We have to make sure that they don't run into our soldiers and kill a bunch of them right at the start. Get into cover and stuff like that. Fortunately, we're still not at the point in the campaign where Advent really starts ramping up their strength. So it's still relatively weak enemies that we're fighting.
Heading out. No need to ask twice.
And we have a bunch of our Haven rebels here defending our data tap, and we want to get to them and protect them before they get killed. That's the basic mission.
On your order.
Roger that.
There are enemy reinforcements incoming. The mission ends when we kill the last enemy.
On Overwatch. I'm on it.
Overwatch.
So it's easier if we kill them all before reinforcements show up, because if reinforcements show up, all of a sudden we have more stuff we have to kill before we're allowed to leave.
I can handle that.
Dorag, thanks very much for the 2 months subbed. I'll show to you as well. What soldier classes do I usually use? In Long War 2, you pretty much have to use all 8 of the soldier classes.
Still moving. I've got eyes on Advent troops.
They all have moments where they're particularly strong.
That is not good. Right on the margin.
Good shots, good shots. Whoa. That was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Okay, so we definitely have 2 pods active. Very small pods, though. That can, like, kill you.
I'm being flanked.
I'm glad it didn't, but that's another wound.
Taking heavy fire.
On an assault. There will be 1 other pod somewhere on this map. We don't get to keep enemy corpses from this mission, but we do get to keep any loot that we find. So ideally we'd be trying to recover loot. I'm gonna work out where we get our best shot from for you. Let me just send the shinobis at these. I have 2 shinobis here.
Not a problem.
Made the roof catch on fire. Somebody shot at it, presumably with matches.
You've got eyes on me.
Not sure why they would do that. There's one of the aforementioned loot drops. Hey, Ninja Monkey.
They've got eyes on me. Big deal.
So we have Trojan here, which means that if we successfully shut this drone down, it will just die at the end of the shutdown timer. And swords miss. Oh yeah, for sure. Just barely got it.
I'm in.
Are bullets natural? Depends where they were growing. How they were growing. Okay, so far that's going relatively alright. I think maybe
Understood.
we
Moving
use
out.
some consumables to kill these. I don't know, I'm also okay with running over here and shooting it in the face.
Running and gunning. Rolling out. Well, how about that?
The shoots of bullets can cause damage to buildings. Wow. I feel like you worked really hard for that pun, but I gotta say, like, there was a payoff.
Close quarters.
Hey, Wonder Tunge.
Headed there now.
That's what the exosuits that we built do.
Hostile neutralized. Draining ammo fast. Running.
You have to build resources for the shredder gun. Like, does it fire a consumable is what you're asking?
Moving to Overwatch. Scanning.
It does not fire a consumable. You have to build the armor, which is very expensive.
No problem, boss. I'm on it.
Alright, here's the last pod. Oh, stun lancers and a MUTON was that? But they're very close to our rebels, and our rebels have shotguns.
Target's still up. Adjusting sights.
And a sniper rifle. Less good.
Still
Advent
moving.
forces on the ground.
This might be our first rebel death of the campaign right here.
Flesh wound. I got nothing.
Oof. It decided to shoot at our data tab. Which is... okay. I mean, it works out pretty well for us, let's just put it that way. I want to run an assault at that and pull the Overwatch.
Moving out.
Assaults got lightning reflexes, which makes them very able to run Overwatches. Was the MUTON allowed to grenade there? No, the MUTON's not allowed to grenade as a yellow alert action. That would be a bit much, I think. Can someone shoot that? Our assault could if we used command.
Roger that. Absolutely.
Nobody's PC can run XCOM 2. Yeah.
Attempting
Yeah. Unfortunate, but true.
No need to ask twice. Solid copy.
Will do. No need to ask twice.
So we're confident that these enemies over here are the only ones left on the map. That's why we're running around through Fog of War like crazy people and all that. If I were to perhaps use this sharpshooter who has death from above, what are you doing in a haven? Use this sharpshooter. A grenade the MUTON. How much StarCraft did I play? Not very much. Got through like most of the single player campaign for StarCraft before Brood War existed. What was the one before Brood War? I guess it was just called StarCraft probably at that point. Anyway, I got through most of the single player campaign of that.
Sure thing.
I didn't really get into the Brood War single player, and I almost never played it multiplayer.
Deflection. I'm on it.
Good morning, Zephyr. You're up? Killing MUTON is pretty solid. I feel like Zephyr is getting grumpier and grumpier as he gets older.
Let's do this.
There are 3 tiers of weapons in Long War 2. There are 5.
Grenade.
You're starting ballistic weapons, then laser weapons, then mag weapons, loot destroy, then
On the move.
coil weapons, and then plasma weapons.
Position confirmed.
Does this always kill? It is plausible that it fails to kill, but it's like almost unthinkable.
I only scratched him. Running dry.
Oh, okay. And be like that, huh?
Not a problem.
We had to not only graze, but also roll low enough on our damage that a graze didn't just kill anyway.
Could use some ammo over here.
Oh, it's dead. Well. Okay, it didn't deal lethal damage there. My rebel is stunned, though. You got a kill here? Nope. Rebels can finish cleaning this up.
Heading out. X-ray neutralized.
Note that it is also raining like underneath the overpass. Because in the future, overpasses let water through because it's better for nature.
On your order. Target eliminated. Status confirmed. All hostiles are down and the area is secure. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Water the cement real good. You know it. Why does my webcam always end up floating? I swear I fix this like every other day. Don't understand why it does that. Sounds pretty bad for the plants. Oh, don't worry, there aren't any of those. That's fine.
Apart one mission at a time, Commander.
9 days for Staff Sergeant Zoe Decker Wilson. The elevator just gonna keep making that noise. We have another rebel contacted here, it looks like. Let's swap everybody to intel now. And let's load out for this mission. Let's see. What else is there to do? There's the supply raid, which we're not doing. The HQ assault is infiltrating. It won't be swarming plus when we actually launch it. I don't think there's anything to do right now other than load out for this mission here. Counter grazing fire.
For Sector 1, the Arctic.
Are there objectively better promotions, or is it fairly balanced? It's fairly well balanced. I am one of the balance testers for this game, so my answer is going to be that we did a pretty good job of balancing it. My answer is obviously going to be biased. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Bring this squatty shinobi. Need to get those leveled a little bit. Got 3 exosuits on the mission. Seems reasonable. I could take more soldiers, but it would take longer to get the mission down to extremely light threat, and I want to just like get the mission to extremely light and launch it. I don't want to mess around waiting for weeks. Excuse me. Just take a defense BCS here. This shotgun looks better loaded out. And we'll put a stun gun on you, because why not? And we'll launch.
Sky Ranger deployed.
In position to drop.
The most ridiculous shot any of my soldiers has ever taken. Somebody link the 100% miss. That would probably be the answer. Maybe. I don't know. I've played several thousand hours of XCOM. Starts to blur together. This is playable. A rookie, a rebel, a rookie, a rebel, and a rebel. Let's do this one after that one.
Sky Ranger deployed.
They're all here. We'll be home in a jiffy.
Technical Shinobi, Specialist Technical, the other Shinobi. Another way I could do this is I could send a Shinobi Specialist team. Not to the jailbreak, to the hack a computer mission though. I could do that. I got all the missions in this region right now. I think this is a Shinobi Specialist team, if I remember right. Yeah. Could think about that. We've got tons of time before this mission expires, so we have the ability to spend a while thinking about the right way to take it and waiting until the right moment to take it. I guess the downside of not doing it now is I don't get the intel reward from it, so I can't boost the HQ assault. That's probably okay. Let's scan here. Seems like the spot where we're going to get good missions at the moment. And we have to launch this. It is vulnerable. We have a Shinobi and a Specialist. Let's go. Hey, Rogue Hotshot.
We just got word from the spokesman.
Band
Apparently
playing the
the
mission
aliens have
intro
captured a
music.
VIP
Yeah.
of critical importance to the resistance effort, and they'd like us to handle the rescue
Yeah,
operation.
UI in
To
this
lock
game is
down
not
the area,
perfect.
Free the VIP and evac the target as quickly as possible.
XCOM 1 was released on consoles, and so the interface was built to support consoles. They didn't like build two different interfaces for console and PC. They just went with a console-friendly one, and people on PC had to play it. XCOM 2 is not being released on consoles, but because that's the UI that XCOM used, they're like stuck to it because of like legacy or something. I don't know. That's the brand of the game now. That's what people are familiar with. So it feels like the game has never had a PC-centric interface developed for it, ever, basically. XCOM 2 is out on Switch now. Well, there you go.
Move to rendezvous. Eliminate all
That's great.
hostile contacts.
Okay. Yeah. So the reason that we're here is in case there was an evac zone near the VIP, maybe we could go get a door hack reward and maybe even get the VIP out. But we put the evac zone here, apparently. So we're just gonna leave. And that's
Ready to boogie.
the mission. Sorry, VIP. Maybe next time.
Commander, we failed in our mission. We'll need to review our tactics and
I know why the 100% shot missed. Because the game bugged out. I think it was shooting at a civilian. FPS XCOM 2 on Switch. Well, the human eye can see more than 12 frames per second, but if you look at it with your nose, that's actually more performance than needed. I did just explain why I was bailing on the mission. Like, that's the only thing I said during the mission was an explanation of why I bailed on it. Right? Like a crazy person right now. That was a mission where a shinobi and specialist were going to attempt to get the reward for hacking the door, or maybe if they were really lucky, get the VIP out, but the layout of the map was bad for it. So I just evac'd. And that's fine. Why am I assuming that you listen when I talk? It's a fair question. I could load out a squad of 5 to do this once this training is done. Especially if I went to the black market and got enough supplies for a couple of exosuits. Let's do that.
Avenger plotting new course.
The wounds are starting to come off the barracks. We've got some shinobis leveled up. Starting to be a bit more reasonable to go for something like that. Selling an elite stock this campaign, because we already have 2 and we only have 1 sharpshooter, feels a bit bad. I think that's enough drone wrecks to do the drone autopsy already.
Setting course for the Arctic territories.
That's too bad. So some sort of dark event will happen in a day. We got center mass that makes their guns deal more damage. That's unfortunate too. We have a shinobi, a specialist. A shinobi, a specialist. And a grenadier. We don't particularly have guns for these soldiers. Yeah, basically not at all. But we do have a long time to infiltrate and a couple of exosuits. So it should be fine. Or thereabouts. Unless it takes so long to infiltrate that by the time we get there it's like advanced enemies all of a sudden. That would be a little bit awkward. Could bring the sharpshooter. I wish the sharpshooter would proc a rendezvous. Then I could remove it from the haven it's stuck in. I think maybe you don't actually get a nanoscale. We're not quite able to equip 3 teams. Especially not with a full A team equipped. But this mission should be really easy. Hope so.
Sky Ranger deployed.
In position to drop.
Looks like there's another rebel here. I should probably flip to intel in Eastern Europe now. Sort of have to get a jailbreak if I flip to intel now. I'll wait another 1 or 2 rebels. We can run a bunch of missions in Eastern Europe, then New India will be online. Keep fighting for New Arctic in the meantime. Should all be good. Alien craft hinder the Avengers' intelligence gathering. So that means that the Avengers worse at scanning for missions, but it doesn't affect how good our rebels are at scanning for missions. It's not a huge problem, really. Is that another UFO? I think that's another UFO. Let's counter that by playing the HQ before it lands. So we see that we have 4 days, 14 hours, which gives us enough time to infiltrate this and hopefully get it to vulnerable. Yeah, Advent's getting a little bit unlucky. So the thing is, they're trying to reinforce this region. Why aren't they enforcing it from, like, here? Why wouldn't they land a UFO there? I'm not sure I understand. They're also landing UFOs, like, around here, but I think they're sending out an extra UFO right now because we're so far... The thing the AI looks at is how much global vigilance there is versus global strength.
We'll need to seek out new means of
They're up to 44 legions total, so they started at like 36 or 37 or something. They've successfully brought in some. I would rather train that to be an officer than put it in a haven right now. But yeah, like vigilance is so high in this region, especially we're at 17 here, that they would be sending extra UFOs. Maybe they're a bit more haphazard about those. Send them in places where they're likely to get caught. We just want to launch the HQ assault before that lands, and when we do, it's going to kill off the mission in the region. They won't be getting the strength. Just happened. Recruited another here. Recruited another here. Happy to launch this once it's vulnerable. Swarming, but not swarming plus. That's the key. The reason to launch it now instead of later is to avoid troops transferring in from another region. Also, we get our stuff faster so we can start building things faster. Let's launch it now. Let's do an HQ assault. Specialist assault, sharpshooter, gunner, technical specialist. This may be incredibly optimistic. We'll see. Been a while since I did an HQ assault, especially in April. I think we're still in April or early May or something. You friend of the trees. How tenuous is the game at this point? Is it likely that one terrible mission loses the campaign? It's typically plausible to lose the campaign with a terrible mission. For mid-May. Okay. But yeah, I feel like I'm used to HQ assaults in like early to mid-June, and mid-May is very early for me to be getting one. So it's hard for me to judge whether this squad's strong enough to do the thing that they have to do.